Happy holidays, my nerds! It's that time of year, the time where literally every news outlet does a top 10 roundup of the year's biggest happenings. But we here at SourceFedNERD don't give a single solitary hoot about anything that happened this year unless it has to do with movies, video games, comic books, or metal. Just me for the last one? Okay, well, here are the top 10 stories in nerd culture that happened this year. This year, Netflix really showed us that they're doubling down on all the amazing superhero content that they're doing. We got Luke Cage and a pretty good season 2 of Daredevil, but more importantly, we got some really incredible news for upcoming Marvel Netflix content. We're gonna get new seasons of Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Daredevil, Iron Fist, The Punisher, and maybe best of all, a Defenders show. Easily the most exciting news here, at least for me, is an A-list actress joining the ranks of celebrities that are now on Netflix's original programming. And not just any actress, it's fucking Sigourney Weaver! We don't know what she'll be doing on The Defenders just yet, although there's been a ton of speculation. I'm just excited to see an ass-kicker like Sig Money join the Marvel Netflix lineup, yeah! Okay, so this is one of my favorite stories that came out of this year. Major companies are trying to figure out how to use AI in helpful and progressive ways, mostly by using our online presence to teach robots how we think and communicate and act, and also all of our weaknesses for the inevitable robot uprising. The best AI-related story this year was Microsoft's well-intentioned Twitter bot designed to mimic a teenage girl. But since the internet ruins everything always, not even 15 hours had passed before Tay started spewing off a jumble of hateful, misogynistic, racist, and pro-Trump nonsense. Basically, if the alt-right were condensed into one account, it would be Tay. While this is nothing short of hilarious, it does raise some interesting questions, like can we teach AI to be productive without incorporating the absolute worst parts of humanity? Probably not, but I'm sure it'll make for a great real-life Black Mirror episode one day. You guys, Nintendo did all kinds of stuff this year. Of course, it was a bunch of Pokemon news, but we'll get to that later. Nintendo announced not one, but 2 systems this year that are going to be made available for us fanboys and fangirls. They've got the NES Classic, which is a tiny, adorable version of the original console, preloaded with 30 games and complete with a wireless controller. But you ask, can't I just get a Raspberry Pi for 35 bucks and load every NES game ever onto it? Well, yes, you can, but this one is so cute, okay? It's just so cute. Also, and maybe more exciting to me, is the announcement of the Nintendo Switch. In true Nintendo fashion, it's trying out new technology to try to advance our gaming experience. It's a multiplayer, on-the-go, tablet-style complete system that you can choose to plug in and play at home on a TV or take it to a party with you like this chick. Seriously, don't ever be this chick. No. Even cooler than the idea that I could go on road trips and play multiplayer games in the back seat is how many developers are supporting the Switch. Just give me Fallout all of the time, please. I want it on my road trip. Thank you. Ringing in at number 7 comes a movie that some people loved and some people love to hate. Of course, I'm talking about the all-female reboot of Ghostbusters, and its reception has been one of the most divisive reactions on both sides that I can remember. Some people were completely inspired that their favorite Ghostbusting heroes were gender-swapped, namely a lot of parents of young daughters. Others felt like the movie's mere existence was a crushing blow to their childhood. Personally, I love the idea of an all-female Ghostbusters. The idea. Not so much the pandering, unfunny mess that we got instead. Moving on. Video game fans can be fickle, so when Overwatch launched in May, all the Destiny fans switched gears for the newest shooter on the block. Honestly, I like Overwatch a lot more than Destiny. The characters are super entertaining, it's turned out some pretty sick cosplay, and it's also just a super fun game. Also, I have never seen erotic fanfiction and Rule 34 art churned out in such a timely manner. Well done, creeps. Oh boy. Okay, whatever you thought of Suicide Squad, we can all agree that Jared Leto was at the forefront of almost every major story that was reported on about it. His over-the-top method acting, his edgelord pranks, and then him complaining that all of his scenes got cut, honestly was so much more entertaining than whatever Suicide Squad was trying to be. Of course, there was the release of the iPhone 7 and their subsequent banishment of the headphone jack. Hasn't exactly paid off yet, but we'll see. And then Samsung phones started exploding all over the place. Batteries blowing up is nothing new, but it happened to so many people's phones that they had to ban them from some airports. It even became a hot meme and a topical Halloween costume, which is why I am giving it number 4. Coming in at number 3 is probably one of the stories I have been the most excited to talk about, and that is the wide release of virtual reality helmets via the PSVR. If you've ever tried any form of VR, you've seen what a groundbreaking technology it is, and even though the PSVR isn't top of the line, getting it into as many people's homes as possible is a really good thing. Guys, I'm a little freak for VR. It's groundbreaking! This list would be so very incomplete if all the Star Wars news was missing, particularly Rogue One. No matter what your opinion was on The Force Awakens, there was no doubt about it. We are absolutely heading into a Star Wars renaissance. Personally, I am so much more excited about about all the Rogue One news that's been happening this year. With each cast member that's been added and every plot point speculated on, I've grown more and more excited to see a brand new Star Wars story that isn't a prequel or a continuation. Maybe by the time this list airs, Rogue One will all be out, so hopefully it lives up to all of our expectations. Coming in at number 1 this year is the game everybody was super excited about, then they couldn't stop playing, then they all of a sudden ignored it completely. I'm talking about Pokemon Go, of course. It was a huge deal not just for people who played it as a kid, but also people like me who take an interest in augmented reality and was super excited to see it get a huge platform. Of course, the second all of our pocket monsters were harder to catch without escaping and our eggs were all damn Pidgeys, we abandoned it pretty quick. I'm told that they fixed a lot of that by the 2 people I know that are still playing it, but if we here at SourceFedNERD were concerned about doing any one type of news too much this year, it was definitely Pokemon Go, so that is the number 1 story. That's my top 10 nerd stories for this year, but I've got some honorable mentions too, like Westworld happening, Young Justice coming back, Black Mirror Season 3, the Ghost in the Shell whitewashing thing, Elon Musk stuff, that campaign to get Danny DeVito to voice Detective Pikachu, and of course, me getting hired at SourceFedNERD. Yay! What were your favorite nerd stories this year? Let me know in the comments below, and also to all you People Be Like fans, Will Haynes is hosting an awesome mini-series where he teams up with internet friends like Lee Newton, Jake Roper, and Matt Stefanina to test drive their careers. Make sure to check that out over on the People Be Like channel, or just click the link in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Whitney Moore, and I'll see you next year.
Cosplay really isn't about big movements. It's about those small, intricate ones that really get into you.
You said nothing.
Well, is this the Bakersfield Pet Mortuary?
Hi there!